sailing. We are down at the Bittersweet Boatyard in South Bristol, Maine, again to check out a really neat boat. But first, welcome back, Canadian Ken.
Thank you very much. Good to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Yes.
So a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
One, why did you come back to the United States?
Yeah.
Because you're up in Canada skiing. Two, how was the skiing? And three, I have to say, looking at that helicopter, shall we say, it looked a little bit terrifying.
Hey, great experience. I'd do it again if I could. My body would allow me.
Yeah.
And all I can say is Connor McDavid.
Yeah, the dagger to the U.S. heart. I love it. I love it. That was a cool game. Anyway, so we're here to check out a 1982 Vineyard Vixen 34. Now, a few weeks ago, my brother Tim and I filmed one down in Duxbury, and you were kind of cheesed off. You didn't get to do that
I
one.
know. It looked like such a beautiful boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mikey, the owner of Bittersweet Boatyard here, he contacted us and said, the owner of this boat is thinking of selling. So this is a premiere announcement of this boat being for sale. It hasn't been listed anywhere.
Right.
And her asking price is $25,000. And she's not perfect, but boy.
No, not perfect. And by the way, we don't get any money from the sale of it, but we'll go through it. We've noticed a couple little things. It's been sitting here now. This is its third winter here.
Third winter indoors.
Unused.
Unused.
So, yeah.
And good point. It's been stored indoors in the off season for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So,
and this is a great boatyard. We're loving this boatyard.
Yeah, absolutely. So she's been handled with tender loving care. But like Ken said, she's been unused for a few seasons now. So she's been sitting. So there are going to be some things that you need to do. But man, $25,000. Only 23 of these were made, and this is hull number 17. And the owner has owned her for 33 years, and he was the second owner on this boat. And she was originally purchased by an attorney down in Martha's Vineyard. And there's some custom things like the teak deck, which we'll show you.
That's right. And so these were made down in Martha's Vineyard. So they're meant to handle those Buzzard Bay squirrely winds and things like that.
Seas,
so
yeah.
So it's a beautiful boat. You'll see.
Yeah, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the Vineyard Vixens, its closest cousin really is the Pacific Seacraft 34. And funnily enough, we'll show this to you later, there's one right next door to this. So
compare and contrast.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go take a look. All right, so here we are in the cockpit of this Vineyard Vixen 34, and I have to say it's really great. But before we get going, I just want to say the owner is selling the boat because he can no longer sail it. And it's not a happy day for him that he needs to sell this boat, but he does. And so we're hoping to find her a new home, and that's why we're doing this. But here we are. So a beautiful Helm station here. The wheel could use some new elk hide on here, but otherwise it's great. It's a nice wheel. You got auto Helm. Here's your throttle, and you've got a shifter. So all the usual suspects here. Nice drink holder, and a nice swinging arm here for your Garmin chart plotter here, excuse me. But first thing to note, look at the combings on this, Ken.
Yeah.
Nice and high. And it gets higher back as we go forward here. So keep in mind, like you said in the opening, Ken, she hasn't been used for a couple seasons. She's stored indoors, but she needs a good clean. But anyway, a great cockpit. And as you all know from the Vineyard Vixen 29, she has a canoe stern. Really pretty. Here's your push pit here. You've got a radar tower and your HD Garmin radar dome right there. So it is HD, which means high definition, which is really, really neat.
Nice.
And then in this cockpit locker, you've got your some storage for an air horn and whatnot, but also your ignition for your engine. Perfect. Yeah. So all this is great. And then coming forward in your port locker here, you have not only storage for your lines and so forth, you've got your CNG gas tank for your stove down below.
So now not contained, right?
Not contained, because CNG is compressed natural gas. That will rise if there's a leak, and it'll evaporate out, versus LP, liquefied petroleum, which is heavier than air and will sink into your bilge. And that's the more common form of gas used on boats now, but you need to have proper containment for it. You need to have alarms and regulators and so forth. This, you don't need any of that, but it's hard to find CNG.
It's finding the CNG up here.
Up here, you can get it in Massachusetts readily enough, and other places in New England and around the world, but LP is more readily available.
And he actually used to sail this from Manchester, Massachusetts, up to Maine. So it does have some life in Massachusetts. So.
Yes, exactly. And apparently he has 2 cylinders, and so he'd fill a spare. Smart. And 2 tanks that size will last you a couple seasons.
Ours lasts the whole season.
It'll last a couple seasons. Yeah. And so also in the cockpit here, you've got
Nice winches.
nice primary winches. These look newer.
Yeah, they do.
And secondaries, which are also self-tailing. So all these are self-tailing.
And they're all spinning, so
Yep.
they're all good.
This is all good. So port and starboard, you've got those. And here is your traveler right on your bridge deck here.
Yeah, I like how that's sort of integrated into that.
Yeah, you're right. It's not
nice.
on top
It's
of
not
it.
on top, so it's easier to step over to get down below.
Yep. So that's your traveler system there. Here's
We got some
your gusher pump there.
Yeah.
And some older
instruments. Yeah.
which apparently everything was functioning the last time it was used. And then looking forward, I mean, my
Yeah.
gosh, look at that.
Now, so those little butterfly hatches, this reminds me of the Concordia a little bit, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in good condition as those.
They really are, yep.
And did you say these come with covers?
They have covers for the hatches, so, it's like
canvas
the canvas covers. So,
Yeah, nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
And the teak deck. So we'll get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like we said in the opening, we believe these were custom ordered by the first owner this boat was actually laid up in 1980 and then not launched until 1982. And so she's considered an 82. But anyway, the teak decks were at one point rebunged and fastened by Bittersweet Boatyard here.
What do we think about 2009, do we say?
I think it was 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
You do have older coated lifelines, but I don't see a lot of rust, or any for that matter.
But that's something, we should, an easy fix. And boy, when you go to the stainless steel, I like it because then
It's a nice look.
Then you can see.
Yeah,
See what's
exactly.
going on.
It's a nice clean look.
Yeah.
Your fair leads are outside on the tow rail for your jib, which is nice.
Oh, yeah.
And then here are your chain plates, which are out by the tow rail as well. So that is really, really
Yeah, so plenty of room to walk in between here.
Yeah, look at this, right?
Yeah.
Nice and
Wow.
wide side decks here. I like it a lot.
We've got
Beautiful handrails here.
little handrails. We've got the
This is a boom crutch.
The boom crutch.
Which fits back in by the traveler there, which is
and I
really
like
great.
this old.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Has a little spot sits
Little
right
slot
in
for it
there.
Right there, yeah.
Perfect.
These are just beautiful.
So deck step mass, it looks like.
Yes, good call, Kenneth. Deck step.
Yeah.
And this is for your self-tacking jib. So it does have a working jib, and it does have a boom that goes on it, and you can make it self-tacking. He had that boom made because it didn't come with it when he bought it, but he sails it with a Genoa, and he doesn't use the self-tacking mechanism, but it is available.
Right.
Which is
And
great.
he said he used to single this quite a bit. And
Yeah.
so that's what's nice. This boat, for its size, you can easily single it. So
That's what's great about 34 feet. It's like that sweet spot
Yeah.
for single handing,
Yeah.
And when we can talk about the mainsail now. He's got a Dutchman flaking system for his main, which, if you're not familiar with it, we'll put something up on the screen that diagrams how it works, but as simple as dropping your halyard, it sort of flakes itself.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Nice forward hatch with these.
Yeah, I love the wood
bars.
details.
Yeah,
They're really
it's
nice.
nice.
And all the little bronze hatches in here. I think most of these, because they have screens, obviously are ventable.
Yep. But
Wow.
for a 1982, she's looking pretty good. And you can imagine what she'd look like with a good scrub,
Oh, yeah.
Really great.
Yeah, we've noticed, for example, there like a few bungs are missing
Right.
here. So in a little area here where it's raised. But, again, it's been sitting here, spend a little time on this, and you can get it right back up to speed.
Totally agree with you. So nice pulpit here, nice little bowsprit with your plow-style anchor up there. There is no windlass on this. It goes down into your chain lock here, but this is coated chain.
Coated chain.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But that's all in great shape. Nice roller up there. That's very sizable. But this is great. So, Ken, look over to starboard here.
All right, so here we have, this is sort of the compare and contrast boat. And you can see, other than sort of the higher bulwarks, it's very similar, isn't it?
That's good eye, Ken. Yeah, this has got the Pacific Seacraft 34 has got higher bulwarks. The coach roof itself is a little higher, but the cockpit's a little smaller.
Cockpit's a little smaller, yeah, I noticed that.
And she's a little narrower, actually, than the Vineyard Vixen. But
Right.
all the other numbers are very similar.
Yeah.
And then when we get down on the hard to look at the keel, we can show you another difference between the two. But very similar boat. The Vineyard Vixen actually will be a little bit faster.
A little faster,
Yeah, she's got a little better rating. But anyway, look at this. This is a beautiful foredeck. And like we keep saying, if we clean this up, man, she would really be a pretty boat. I mean, she already is gorgeous, my word. But there's your boom. But all this is all original. This hasn't been painted. That's all in nice shape. The one thing, Ken, we noted was
Oh, yes, here. Yeah.
this is peeled up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's lifted up.
A little
So
lifting up there.
there are
Yeah.
a couple few things that need to be addressed.
Right. Yeah.
But by and large, I mean, this is really cool. And what's really great is when we go down the hard, you can see how great the hull is. I mean, it's in the top side. She sparkles. All right, so here we are in the cockpit again, and I just wanted to illustrate just how big this is and how high these combings are. And I'm stretching my legs out, and I cannot reach the other side. I mean,
Right.
that's sizable. And it's nice to have these two little bags here to keep the main sheet in that's not being used, stored and out of the way. Nice teak grating on the floor of the cockpit here. And here is your engine panel here with all your instruments, RPMs, oil pressure, whatnot. The hour meter reads 2,075, but in 2009, she was repowered with a Beta Marine 28 horsepower engine, which we'll take a look at, that only has, we estimate, about 300 hours on it per the owner. So ignore that. But all this is fantastic and great. I just said fantastic, Ken.
Oh, my goodness. One.
That's one. All right, all right, we'll get away with that one. It's really great. All right, so Ken, look at the companionway.
I know. I mean, two of you can get down there.
I hate you sometimes. I really do. Yeah. So look at this. Slides back nice and easy.
Wow.
And as you noted, a couple of me could fit down here. This is really great. Wow. And check out this headroom.
Yeah. So where are we for headroom there? Yeah.
It's over 6 feet. I think they say it's 6 feet 2 inches, I think, is the headroom on this, if I recall correctly. But come on down, check it out. All right, Canadian Ken's going to demonstrate how easy it is to come down this companionway. Oh, yeah, funny Ken. Obviously, he's joking.
Very easy.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah. Yeah. So open.
It's so open.
Yeah.
So that's going to really help with the airflow down here if you're on the mooring somewhere. But
that's nice. Look at nice sort of centerline sink we got here.
yep.
We got a cooler here. No refrigeration, but a nice deep cooler.
Nice teak grate down there.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
We got
very
a
nice.
Gimbling stove here.
Yep, again, that's the CNG stove.
CNG stove. Looks like we got pump for water, but there looks like there's both
Foot pump and pressurized. Yeah.
foot pump and pressurized water, so that's nice.
So this is for the gas, actually. It has a nice
So-
control down here to turn it on and off, which is nice.
Yeah, but doesn't need the alarms like we do for the LP, which is nice.
Skip's last nickel.
There it is.
Skip is the owner's name.
Yeah,
That's
I love
hilarious.
It. I love it. Love it.
What do you think?
Very open down here. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You can even stand up here with your silly hat on.
With my little
doesn't even
CMH hut. Oh yeah, Purcell's baby.
All right.
There we go.
But look at this. Isn't this
I
beautiful?
know. I love that we're working the ceiling. There's one little area behind you, unfortunately, where there's a little bit of.
Oh, yeah.
So I
That's
think
an easy
that's
fix.
an easy fix. That's just
Yeah.
it comes out.
Needs to be screwed back up.
I'm not going to mess with it though.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you're prone to breaking things. But look at that nice butterfly hatch.
Yeah, I love the hatch and the light you'd get in here. Got the table comes down here. I'm sure pops down.
Yep. Drop leaf
So
table.
that comes down probably has a lift. So that's nice.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's got a
Nice
sound system
Nice
on
little
here.
sound system too.
But nice little pilot berth up there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, these cushions are serviceable. They're older, but they're
Yep.
seeming,
Give them a little steam
little
clean.
steam clean. Sorry, I don't want to bite you in here. And then a little nav desk on this side.
Yeah, sorry, the lights
So
right
here, let me
there.
flip that around so you can sort of see what we got going on in there.
So he does have another Garmin chart plotter that goes up by the Helm station, but he's got an older one
Right.
here.
And that's probably for the radar, right? The
I think
older-
the radar overlay is on the.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's your Kenwood stereo system, and then Ken, I don't know if you can see this, but right here you've got a nice wet locker. When you come down, you can hang stuff here.
Oh, that's
It's
a
filled
great
with
idea.
storage
I like
now,
that.
right?
I like
Yeah,
that.
right there.
Yeah.
So if you were to sit at this nav station, you're going to be. You can get your feet under here. You'd be facing the Helm.
Back to the helm.
Yeah. Oh, look, compass.
There's
That's
the
nice.
compass. Yeah.
Winifred.
There it is.
Oh, that's right. That's the name of the boat.
Yeah. So Winifred, we found out, is a Welsh saint, female saint, and it's an interesting story. You'll have to look into it. But she was the saint of healing, I
Healing
believe.
and wellness.
Yeah.
And so, she was beheaded, right?
Yeah, apparently some guy was interested, some duke or something interested. She scorned him, and so he decided to cut off her head. Her head rolled down to the church where her uncle, I guess,
The steps of the church,
and somehow the uncle was able to put the head back on, and she lived another 20 years.
Yeah. So that's the legend of the saint of Winifred. So that's why this boat is named that. It's a saint of healing and wellness.
Wellness, I love it.
And that makes sense. If you're going to go out in the water, you get a little wellness in you.
Sure do, yeah.
That's a funny story. The owner is just such a nice guy. So storage.
You got to have a
little liquor locker there.
Liquor,
Good man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it looks like all these are operable.
All these ports open. Yep.
So lots of ventilation, and with that, there is the Dodger.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's your Dodger.
Yeah. So that's not in place, but looks like it's in serviceable condition.
Yeah, you might.
Isinglass is a little worn.
Yeah, you might replace the isinglass. The cabin sole could use a refinish, but it looks like it's teak and holly.
Yep.
And I wonder if it looks like these maybe, I can't tell if they pull out or not. They look like they kind of do, but I don't want to. Oh, yeah, they do.
It could slide out.
Yeah, it slides out into a bigger double.
It's a bigger double. That's great.
And then the pilot berth. Yeah, so you can sleep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4, 5.
No quarter berth, obviously, because of
the
the
storage.
stern and the cockpit lockers. But, man, all right, so we go up in the V-berth?
Yeah, check it out.
All right, so we're going to go up to the V-berth in a second, but one thing of note is this boat has a diesel heater on it somewhere. We haven't found it yet, but that is the thermostat, and the owner did tell us there is one, so we know it's somewhere. So maybe we'll find it when we check out the engine. But before we go up, let's look at the for some chain plates. Okay, here we go. So I can see 2. That looks to be in great shape. Nice tabbing, too, on the bulkhead. Then the other one is behind that knee, which you're not going to be able to really see.
You can not really see, but it's there. But they look in good shape.
I don't see any corrosion whatsoever.
No.
But so that looks great.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so we'll head on up. First thing of note, I can stand up here.
Yes. Lots of headroom.
That's nice. I brought a tape measure because...
Right. We don't want to be climbing on all these with our muddy boots, but he's got his professional high-end tape measure there.
I see 75 inches.
All right. So we got at least 6 feet we're talking here.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
Plenty of room.
Yeah.
Great.
So this is nice. We got opening port on starboard. You got the hatch, and I can stand up in the hatch area, which is really nice. And then a port on port. And you got a couple lights and shelving.
Yep.
Nice wood feeling up here.
Some cubbies. It looks like there could be an infill here for that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So don't know
very nice. All right, I want to just, I don't know how to do this easily, but show you inside this little locker here. Nice cedar line.
Nice cedar locker, all cedar line.
And there are your screens for all your hatches.
Good. Yeah, that's nice to have.
That's super nice.
Right. That's good screen. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Shape. And then let's show them the door here.
First.
So this is interesting. So this acts as the ensuite door and the head door.
Nice bifold door there.
Yeah.
Closes perfectly as it should.
Yeah.
I like that. And then it doubles as your head door.
Perfect.
So you can be en suite up here if you're in the V-berth.
Yeah.
Or use it as a head door.
And there's a little peekaboo place just above. If you
so you can really just sort of be creepy and look in on somebody. Well,
here, I'll take
a look. Yeah.
Obviously, it's winter. It's been pulled apart. So
exactly what Ken just said. It just needs a clean. No big deal. And it does have an 20-gallon Blackwater holding tank.
Right.
So, fantastic.
Hey.
I did it again.
You said it again.
We need a thesaurus or something, Ken.
All right, let's see what we can come up with another word.
To expand my vocabulary.
Geez, let's see. I got it right here.
That doesn't look like a thesaurus, bud.
It's a boat speak. So that would be double plus good.
Double plus good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So this head is double plus good. Plenty of room in here. Nice little sink. And a shower. That's great. That's great. Nice. Okay. Here you go, Ken.
All right.
Double plus good. I'm going to remember that.
Double plus good. And
no more fantastics.
That's 3.
All right. So now we're going to take apart the companionway and get to the engine compartment. So hopefully it goes smoothly since we're doing this live. All right. This comes out. That's easy enough. Oh, that's got some nice insulation on it too. Some sound insulation. And then there we go.
Right. He said the original engine was almost too much power. The whole boat would vibrate. And he said maybe this is a little smaller, but he liked the way it fit in. And it was, you know,
He said it was a Volkswagen engine.
and the original one was a Volkswagen engine, which is amazing.
So here we are. This was put in 2009. It's been pinked out. Obviously, you'd want to have it serviced before you go out to sea, make sure everything's great. But all the engine mounts look great. I mean, all of this is...
A little hot water here back there?
It looks like, yeah, it does. Yeah, it's either your hot water heater or your muffler.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And then that diesel heater, it's got to be around here somewhere, but we can't find it. But no big deal. But a little, you know, just corrosion from sitting here. But this is a Beta Marine 28 horsepower with about 300 hours on it. So that's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Obviously, a good clean, and this would look a whole lot different.
It sure would.
Yeah, but low hours. I mean, it's barely broken in, frankly. So that's winner chicken dinner forever.
Right. And now we have to mention there was a survey done in 2018.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good because he hasn't really used it all that much since.
That's a good point, Ken. Yeah.
Still, I would recommend
a new one.
a new one.
Obviously. Yeah, but you're right. So you can see back at that point, the boat was valued at 2018 at $50,000 per the survey.
Right.
So
with a replacement cost of $404,000.
yes, $404,000. All this is beautiful, and I really like the airiness that this companionway offers this boat. I mean, this is if you're sitting here in the galley, for example, cooking.
Oh yeah, you get
all
rained
that
on.
fresh air. You can get rained on, but if you're burning something like I'm apt to do, it goes right out here.
Yeah, no,
it's great.
I like it a lot. I love the feel with all the wood in here. It's very homey, very comfy.
Totally
you know, it's a very seaworthy boat.
Yeah.
He says he can single it, which is great for if you wanted to do that. So
He sailed it solo a lot. That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go down on the hard and take a look at the keel and the top sides.
Sounds good.
All right, so it's really cheek to jowl in here, so we can't really show you a good shot of her profile, but we'll do it the best we can here. But the things of note are, one, the beautiful canoe stern. It's really gorgeous. I love this look. And modern designs do not have this because of the lack of volume and deck space, volume interior, deck space up. But who cares? You're not buying it for that. But she is a Bluewater cruiser. You could take this boat anywhere. But this is really, really pretty. There's her name, Winifred. Nice rub rail there with a stainless steel cap on that. That's great. But this is really fantastic. A skeg hung rudder. So the skeg is going to protect this. So you get a log coming by or some submerged object, it's not going to clip your rudder off, which it will do on a modern design. With no modern boats have a skeg like this. It's crazy. I don't get it because I really love this design. The one ding on this boat is that the prop is not in an aperture, and so it's exposed, but she is feathering. So that's really nice. Right?
Yeah.
So it's going to help shed a little bit. And then you've got a line cutter here.
And then less resistance when you're under sail.
Yeah, that'll add probably half to 3/4 of a knot.
Yeah.
Strut there, all this is in great shape.
Yeah, zinc maybe can be replaced.
Yeah, the zinc could be replaced.
I would do that every year.
It's got two of them, one on the end, one right there. But other than that, it's fantastic. Was the double plus good?
Double plus good.
It's
double plus good.
It is double plus good. So this is cool. You've got a fin keel, which is actually encapsulated.
Okay, so no keel boats.
Exactly. No keel bolts on this. All this really looks great. And the other thing about the construction on this...
Look how narrow that is, too.
Yeah. The owner did ding the bottom at one point, and so he called Martha's Vineyard Shipyard, which is still in business, by the way. They're just not making boats any longer, but they still service them. They told him that this keel has 14 layers of fiberglass. It's a tank. It's a tank. But that gel coat on the exterior, I don't think I've seen its equal on a boat this old. I mean, really just needs a little bit of wax and buff, and it's good to go.
Wax and buff, and you're good.
I love the blue boot stripe, and there's no cove stripe on this per se, but that rub rail sort of acts as that. But there's a good look at the bowsprit.
Right, and then behind you, just while we're here, is the
Pacific Seacraft 34. So this is the main difference.
That's the main difference.
The prop is in an aperture.
Yeah.
But again, off the back of the skeg, so your rudder is protected, which really, if you're sailing in main waters or ocean passages, I wouldn't go offshore without a skeg hung rudder. This does not have a feathering prop. But again, that's the main difference between the two. But even the color scheme is the same.
The same. We digress, but
the beam on this is 10.5, and this is 10.
yeah,
So
this one seems a little clunkier. I hate to say it. This has a little more sort of streamlined.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's gorgeous, and again, the canoe stern, that double-ended look, it's really very pretty in my opinion.
We'll get to some other photos we can put up to show you this, because it really is hard in here. It's so crazy.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
But the thing we forgot to mention when we're up top is that she holds 75 gallons of water, and I think it's, how many gallons of diesel is it? 28. I think it's 28 gallons of diesel.
Gallons of
if I get those numbers wrong, we'll put them up on the screen. But
so plenty.
I wish we could show you more. We just can't. But it's one of my favorite designs, to be honest with you. So you got the performance of the fin keel and the protection of your rudder with that skeg.
Yeah.
Aces, absolute aces. And I love that rub rail. That's beautiful.
I do too. Yeah.
All right, shall we wrap it up, Kenneth?
Let's do it.
Well, Kenneth, what did you think?
Well, I thought it was a beautiful boat. It sort of reminded me of the last Vixen you did down in Massachusetts, that Tom Hale said the only two things that are straight on this boat is the mast and the water line. And it's true. Everything else is just
curves.
These lovely curves.
I mean, I hate to say this, we're going to get some blowback on this, but it's a sexy boat.
It is, yes.
Yeah, it's a really sexy boat. So basically, some basic numbers for you. Length overall is just over 34 feet, 34.33. Her length on water is 27.42, so you get about a 7-foot differential. And her draft is just over 5 feet. And she's a pretty quick boat. Her sail area displacement is just over 16. She is a relatively stiff boat with her ballast displacement is, what is it? It's like almost 42.
42,
yeah. And she's a moderate displacement at 270, and her comfort ratio is just about 30.
About 30. So it's going to be a comfortable boat.
Checks off so many boxes, right?
Yeah.
It really does. It's a really beautiful boat too. And I think, with the right elbow grease put into her now and get Mikey in the yard here to check her out, you could have this boat in the water by late May, early June, and having the time of your life.
I was going to say the sail inventory, there's quite a bit of sails. So he has, I believe, the 2 jibs, but he sailed mainly with the Genoa.
Yep.
It's got the main sail.
Full batten main.
Full batten main. I'm sure they're in serviceable condition, but you probably want to take a look at them.
Oh, that's a good point. He used to work for for Hood Sail.
Hood Sail.
So he took exquisite care of his stuff, his sails in particular, so he knew what he was doing. But yeah, they're going to need to be checked out. And 2 spinnakers.
And 2 spinnakers,
yeah. So you're ready to rock and roll on this boat. And I loved it. We'll put the seller's contact information below.
And what a nice man. It was really fun to meet him and old stories. It's always fun when we meet these people that they tell us the life of the boat and their lives. It's really fun. It was
part of their family, as they say.
It is.
33 years.
Yeah.
And Mikey, who owns this yard here, he's a champ. So if you need to deal with him, you're going to have a wonderful experience. We can tell you that. So don't forget to subscribe to the Boat Fools Report. Don't forget to click like and click share and subscribe. And we really appreciate everybody's support, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.